Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Label podcast. This is your host, Leanne. And today I am here with Qasim Khan from Qasim Khan Productions. We're happy to have you here with us today.
Yes, same here. Hi, everyone.
Do you just want to tell us a little bit about what you do? What is Qasim Khan Productions?
Okay, so Qasim Khan Production is basically a production house. We work on different areas. For example, it's related to videos, and what we provide is events. We cover events, weddings, or any kind of events, and also the main focus is making films. So events went well, then we started to cater to both businesses in one production house.
Wow.
And then with time, we realized, oh, the business is going well. Then we also started to do events related to other areas, like, for example, we do corporate events. Yeah. So corporate events, that's what we started to do for, we even started to do like digital marketing,
Yeah.
making videos for them.
So
basically.
everything, basically.
Yeah, but related to videos.
Okay.
Yeah, and event management. And then this, because of COVID, things were a bit slow. For a few years, people are not coming out, and
There's no events.
yeah, there's no events. There's a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
And in that restriction, you have to find your way out. Like, maybe like you have to do events, or you have to, like, for example, when we filmed this film, that was also in COVID.
Oh, okay.
And the COVID was on peak when we shoot it.
Oh.
And when we were shooting it, there was a lot of restrictions, but like, we have to find a way to shoot it. Some like loopholes, like, maybe like for some time, like, government will be like, oh, only this many people allowed it, or like that. And then we have to.
Was it done in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it was
all in Hong Kong.
All production was in Hong Kong. The crew is from Hong Kong, so everything is from.
So your company, it started basically just from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So in 2018 we started it, and we registered by 2019, and then the situation got so messed up in 2019. Before that, there was a protest going on, and that's and then COVID hits by the end of the 2019.
So would you say this time, because things were a little bit slow, that's why you could kind of have the time to actually make more films?
Yeah, so that's what, like, I mean, films is all about pre-production. We normally see the final product, and actually the most time it goes in pre-production. So the more you plan, pre-plan, it's the best. So we had, we had to even talk to investors, and arranging meetings could be hard. Like, it was hard. Like, they won't come out. COVID is like restriction. And then what we did is we tried to craft a lot of work beforehand, like scripts. We work on, like, for example, this is the first one. So we were working on this while we were working on some other.
So different drafts, and then scripts, and like planning, all happening at the same time.
Yeah, so we were actually working on 3 to 4 projects at the same time. The scripts. For example, for this one, we were working on it, and then we had like web series.
Right, yeah.
2 web series we are actually working on, and it's actually complete. The script is complete now. After this, we'll be actually moving forward towards that. But like, then we also now my writers is also working on 2 feature films.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So our main target is because this movie is in Urdu. The reason was why we made in Urdu is the story it's about this young girl.
Yeah.
And I was
did I cut you off 1 second? Yeah. So for the audiences, basically, the film that we're talking about here is this film that will be releasing in February in Hong Kong. And it's their latest release. And so before we get into the storyline, maybe we can just tell the audience a little bit about what it's about, because I'm very intrigued. You told me previously it's about like women's like being restricted during Ramadan. I personally know nothing about that culture, so maybe if you could just explain it in simple terms to someone who has no understanding of like anything about that. So yeah, why like what is the film about? What is the name of the film, and why did you decide to focus on that very specific topic? Because it is very niche.
Okay, so the movie name is Daayre. So Daayre means boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. And the movie topic is about periods. When we talk about periods, it's actually there's a lot of taboos around in different countries. You know, if I don't know, like how familiar are you with this topic in Asian countries, like in Nepal? This I'm sure you must have like it was also kind of very popular topic in last few years.
Yeah, we actually had a guest come on the podcast who is from Hong Kong University, and she actually has an organization to help the girls in Nepal. So I know there's like they send the girls into like tents, and they get no like hygiene support, like nothing while they're on their periods. Like it's crazy, and girls actually die because of that.
Yeah, that's right. And hygiene, and also there's no like the proper place to stay, and there's sometimes like like snakes can be there and stuff, and where they live the situation is quite bad. But yeah, so eventually this kind of taboo is everywhere around the world, and we like let's say different Asian countries have their own way of dealing with it, and then they have their own way of like creating their own comfort zone and creating taboos. And taboos normally comes from where we talk about like it's they create their own safe zone, we'll say. And we as our humans, we try to we think that we are doing right, but like it comes in we actually always do or something opposite. We always do something stupid. So the topic basically for this movie is in Muslim. It's a Muslim family. We are talking about this in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay. So it's so the movie is about a family based in Hong Kong from a Muslim religion. And about how they were restraining the girls during Ramadan on their period.
So I'll explain like how it works. Is so in Muslim household normally there's a 1 month where we will have fasting. So in like how Muslim people read Quran. The Quran is like a Bible, and in Quran normally we it says that woman needs to take care of themselves in that particular month, and they should like take rest and stuff. But now how it becomes taboo is when it comes to human natures, we create their own like safe zones. So a woman of the house, I'll say like a mom, they will always pass certain kind of knowledge. For example, in this movie, she is telling her daughter to hide about periods from men, and it's very common in I'll say in Asian countries. For certain, like for example, Pakistan, we normally have this I'll say boundaries. This as I say Daayre. So boundaries basically is like we do not women do not tell everything about their body or anything, which so it's also like they say shame, and
so they try to hide it from the men. So I'm guessing is that even when they're on the period, they don't let anyone know. Okay.
So in this case is like so when the older women are living in such way, and when it comes to younger generation, they will pass the same knowledge. It's like it's a,
even in Hong Kong.
Even in Hong Kong, and this story is actually told by a lady. It's not from me. It's not coming from my imagination or something.
So it's a real
incident.
Story.
So it's real things going on around Muslim household. So that's why when I actually didn't know, because I grew up in Hong Kong, I'm living in my own bubble. So we don't really, as I'll say from the men's perspective, we don't really know, or we are kind of in our own world. We do not really if the problem does not involve us, then it's not related to us. girls.
Yeah.
We all men live like that, right? But like, to be very honest, it
Yes.
exists, right?
It does.
We as
for
I
sure.
feel like as a man, we normally forget that maybe it's not a problem for us, but like we should always be aware of what's going on surrounding us. So that's why like so in this case like so the information is passed to another so new generation. So now this younger, who is like 15 years old, we always likes to question everything, right? And at that age, why am I supposed to do that? Why I have to do like so she's having that conversation with her mom. So we are showing that in the film. And as a man of the house, like the father, he have his own authority. Without saying too many words, you will feel like, oh, this man has that authority, and you will know like if like let's say your father or like he will always speak less, but you will know he has more authority in the house, right?
Yes.
We will always have that fear. So in the same like in this movie we are highlighting that the man, we do not actually like we are not aware in this situation.
Right.
It's not like we are neglecting it, but we are not aware. We are not like actually thinking about it. Like imagine like for 30 days someone is pretending to fast. Oh yeah, in this situation, so they are not just hiding it, they're also pretending to fast in that period. So they're not eating, they're not drinking in front of mans. So they have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. They open the fast.
Wow.
And pretend to fast. So they will pretend to do all the rituals. Yeah, and that's why. And then in the end, they will like open the fast with them. But actually, they are not supposed to, according to the Bible.
Right.
But that's where it comes taboo. We all humans create our own comfort zones, our comfort of creating on their own, manipulation of things so the entire movie is about how this girl is actually passing something knowledgeable to his dad.
Oh, so basically, I guess the boundary works in so many different layers.
Yeah.
Like the first obvious one is with the woman and the man.
Yeah.
And so let me just try to rephrase what you're saying is that at the very end, the men gain more knowledge from like learning from these women.
Yeah. So it's still like, I won't say it's, like if you look at the movie and the message is not something, I'll say it won't change your life immediately. But it's, as I said earlier as well, that we have to be aware. That aware is enough. I think it's enough. We don't have to actually involve in every step.
Yeah.
But just to be aware, or you are having this month, maybe like sometimes you don't want to share about your periods. Maybe like it can be private to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to be like, oh, are you having periods? I have to. So if you're not answering me, at least I know. Like when you move. If let's say if I'm a partner, if I like if I'm a husband, then at least I know a person enough that if this person is in certain mood or something like this, maybe she's not telling me, but at least I can have this much sense that something is going on.
Right.
So I think that's enough to have awareness to help the opposite person.
What made you decide to take on the story that this woman told you and to make it into a film? Like what sparked, that you actually, because I mean we all know making a film is so much work and there must be so many people telling you different stories. So why do you choose this one in particular? Like what does it speak to you?
To be very honest, it's like when she told me, I was in a bubble. I was living in a bubble. If I'm living in a bubble, how many men can be like same as me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just talking about Muslim men. I'm not talking about like any Asian men, but I'm talking in general. Like it's not. I mean, like we are highlighting one taboo, but like we are not. We are also telling that this is just one part of the story in the world, but like there's a lot. Maybe like in Chinese culture it can be different kind of taboo. So yeah, so it can. So the main thing is like we wanted. Why I wanted to create this story is like if I'm the one clueless, there's a lot of people are clueless, and if she is telling me the story, that means she's actually because she was facing it, so she is not she's not able to talk to their parents, so she has actually faced it. So she is facing it maybe even until now. Maybe she's
Wow.
not telling to their parents because you need a lot of guts to maybe like come out.
Yeah.
And we normally don't want to sometimes. Like we always have like our own boundaries. Like like, maybe how can I talk to my dad like that? Yeah. So that's why I was like, how about like we create something? It's a message, right? I'm not saying that people will change after this. I'm not saying that they will be like the greatest person tomorrow, right now. I'm just saying that someone maybe someone like me, maybe we need constant reminder. Then can be a reminder to some men, and if they want to change, I mean, change comes when you want to change, right? I'm not gonna be like changing all the men, and they won't be listening to me anyways. So it's just that one thing is that just someone a man who's out there who wants to be like just he wants to make this day better. Then I think that story is
I love that so much. I feel like not completely like same but different. Like with the podcast, all we are trying to do, I think, as creatives, we just want to plant a seed.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're so right that it's not going to change someone's life instantly, but now that they are aware of this, next time if they see something or they sense something, they will know that okay, maybe I need to handle this situation more sensitive, or I need to talk to people in a different way.
Yeah.
So I think that's in itself is already so powerful, and I think it's so amazing that you're like advocating for this and putting in so much work to just promote this idea and just to tell the world that this exists, because I had no idea, and this happening in Hong Kong. Like now I feel like I'm in a bubble.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's when I heard, like I'm like, oh my god, like Hong Kong is like a bare like developed city, right?
Yeah.
We normally think, oh, maybe like this is like one of the best cities and stuff. But we do not know the inside stories. Everyone has their own way of living and their own, four walls. So we all have like our own ways of dealing with things, and that's why like if it's happened in Hong Kong, how can we expect Nepal to change in a day? We are highlighting all the problems around there, but that's why I was like, if it happens in Hong Kong, it's happening everywhere actually. And we don't know. We think about big cities or big big developed countries, but it exists everywhere. It can be in your own household. We just don't know about it. So it's just one topic to just do, just relax, and then this is another way, like just to look at it.
Has there been any challenges actually in telling this story? Like
okay, so it's a kind of a very sensitive topic, like
especially
when it comes
in the religion community, right?
So that's why when we were creating this, right, so we also make sure that we don't go wrong. Some people will talk about like, oh, how come, like and there is actually 2 or 3 people, they actually comment about it. Okay. Oh my god. So like I think the guy was like, he said something like look at these mans nowadays, like I think Dahood, was it the word? The youth. Yeah. So he's like, the youth is like another word, they are actually getting popular. The word is getting popular.
But what does that mean?
It means like shameless or something.
Talking about women in your family publicly.
Yeah. So
okay.
So it's like, so there will be men like these, right? And there will be a man like who maybe wants to make the day better. So I'm not saying that I'm making the movie to make someone change. This person will never change. some people won't change. It's like it's not in your hand. And I'm just saying like, how we see it, how we see ourselves. So I'm just creating this story for myself actually. So someone who maybe if I have a son in the future, maybe like I'll be passing the same knowledge which I have, but then I will at least expect him to like learn, and then what he feels better. That's what he should do. It's not something I will pass and then it works the same in the future, right?
Yeah.
But like, this topic was kind of like, we also thought like, if it's sensitive or something like this. But I realized when we released the trailer, right, there's a lot of women comes out and they're like, you can actually go and on check on Instagram. So there's a lot of people, they will be like, talking about, so females, for example, like they keep messaging us and they say like, oh my god, it happens to me, it happens to in my household. And of course there's some private messages as well we received that, oh, it happens in my household and I have faced this. And I mean, like, I didn't expect the result will be this way, but I think it's enough, right? Even like if it works for one person, it's good enough. Even though 1,000 people hates you, doesn't matter. That one person, if it works for them, it's fine.
I love that so much. I think that's such an important thing, that it's such a great reminder actually, that because I think a lot of people are scared to talk about something because they think, oh, like, no one will look at it, or like no one will agree with me. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, like you said, even there's a lot of people who disagree or don't like what you do, but if it affects someone positively, even just one person, that's already so impactful. Because you don't know, like, one person will lead to another person. It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah. And also, I think you're a creative person, and even for yourself, I think how you use your medium, right? To what do you really want to like show on that medium?
Yeah.
And I think I have learned like before, when I was doing my degree, I didn't even know what I want to really do with this. I just want to be like maybe like a star or something like that. That's it, as a student.
Do you do like a film degree?
Yeah. I have done a film degree, and after that, like when I realized, like, because this professor I had, he actually changed me in sense, like the way he's actually, some things is like he said it was I still don't forget it. He was like, what you can do behind the camera, you cannot do in front of it. So that's what he said to me. That means like he was saying that the stories you can tell, no one else can tell. And because in Hong Kong, these stories are no one else is telling.
Yeah.
So if I just become in front, I will be just working with the same stories which others are telling, and people are not interested. And I didn't understand at that point. But when with time, the progress happens, things comes in, and I realize, oh my god, now I'm realizing what's working, what's not working, and what kind of topic I started to like, and I realized like, oh, this is what he meant, So these stories, which I think, and also I feel like how you use your medium. If you can like film can be entertainment, right? You can use it, but also you can, if you're passing this knowledge at the same time, people will have more eyeballs on your work, and then they can actually at the end they can learn something out of it. And there is a lot of like great filmmakers, and I know like there's few which I get inspired by. Then they have actually used a similar methods, and they become. I mean, like maybe they didn't get the most money out of it, but they actually get the most respect out of it. So,
oh wow! I always remind myself, good or bad publicity is still publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. There's always gonna be people who hate you no matter what, and like you said earlier, there are just people that you cannot change. They are so set in their ways, and they don't need to be helped. They don't need to be inspire. They don't need anything because they're like that already, and we just don't need to care about them.
Yeah, and it's you actually don't need to, because like there's another thing is the person who wants to change is you. So you want to change, then the change will come to you. The change will happen. But if you expect someone else to change, it will never happen, because the person don't want to change. Then how can you change? Imagine like there's a lot of actually people, they want to change their boyfriend or girlfriend. How can you change them? Like it doesn't work, right?
It never works.
Yeah, it never works. It's like we are just imagining like it will work. End up it just goes like basically a bad relationship. So it's like that. So you think about it. You want to change someone, then no, it doesn't work. You change yourself only. That's it.
How would you encourage people to be more courageous, actually, to use their medium to talk about what they really want to do? Because I think a lot of people dream about it, they think about it, but it is really scary to actually put something out there for the public to see. Like, I know that we're talking about this because we're both like creative who release things publicly.
Yeah.
But what about like if there are audiences who are like students, or they're a little bit younger, or they're just starting out and they want to share something that they care about?
So it really depends, right? Like I think at the end of the day, like you should at least know, be honest to yourself on one thing. Are you doing the right thing? If you're doing the right thing, then doesn't matter. The world doesn't matter actually. Like seriously, it's like this. Like you live for imagine like 70 years, right? And you're not gonna do now, then there's no point. And actually, no one. You don't. It doesn't matter. After 70 years, after you die, basically, no one cares. Even though you are the most popular person, right? Or no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Imagine like those people who become a millionaires, or like those rich people from the past, or like influence people from the past. No one actually talk about it.
Yeah. No.
It's like they
None
come
of us know.
yeah. So it's like you only have the time period which you are living in. So just enjoy that what you want to create. If be honest to yourself, at least like be honest to yourself, and for example like just don't do something bad, because you create your own image, and that whatever you create, it's up to you. It's basically on you. And the next thing is like if you want to do something, just go ahead, like do something tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's bad. You want to learn, because like as I also, if you look at my previous work, you're like, what were you creating? What's wrong with you? Like the no skills, nothing. Like so it's like we have to actually whatever we want to do, we have to start somewhere. So it's eventually it will like and some for example for me as well, the style of what you want to create. Sometimes when we create, like in the beginning you will feel, oh, I'm just creating bullshit. But with time you will find your own style. You will find your own kind of content. So it's like now maybe like now what I realize now is good for me. Like but I think with time I will even learn more how to make my work better.
And I think we evolve and we grow. So like what we do, our skills, our craft will just grow with us. And it cannot grow if you don't start, right?
So it's like it's either some people like I would say just go and grab and the next day, doesn't matter, go around. And nowadays I think there's a lot of people, I won't say like there's a lot of people nowadays, if you go outside, everyone is using phone, making TikToks. I think they're quite confident, but the only thing is they're just creating whatever. So it's like, I think just the thing is, I think what I learned is when you create something, you think about at least have a purpose in your mind. What you want to see yourself in the coming future. So that way you will lead towards one kind of image you want to create for yourself.
That's actually really well put. Like just because now everyone's a content creator. Everyone can just make things from their phones, right? But I think eventually, even like a very successful influencers that I see, they get quite lost. Like it's a possibility to get really lost in the process if you don't have a goal in mind. Because you're just like I feel like this today I just post whatever, but not really. I would say actually like they do it without intention.
Because it's also like we also work with different sponsors. For example, in this movie as well, we create this topic. We will target those people, and that's why. So we target like for example like pads or something like this. Who's like who's gonna sponsor us. We kind of create that goal, what the movie is, what the topic is about, so who should we. So that way, like if we talk about we creating something like let's say a reel, for example, then we have to understand like not everyone's gonna love us what we create, but what kind of audience, what kind of message I want to give. We will eventually create our own particular audience who likes that thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't mean they'll be like having a millionaire followers, but they will have maybe 100K genuine followers who actually look at their content regularly. And I think they say that few people is better than having the majority.
Yeah, like a majority that don't care.
Yeah, don't care. Don't even look at your content. They don't. It just doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh no, that was amazing sharing from you. So we're gonna go to our last question that I ask every guest on the podcast is that if you can share one thing that you love about yourself.
Oh, my looks. Just kidding. So I think it's I think how I brought up, like how I grow up eventually, like I think we always complain a lot about I should have done this differently. I should have done if I like for example like some people say for example like if I had studied in this school, maybe like it would be better. But because actually the how I grow up, I think that really what I love the most about myself is because that makes me who I am today. Even one single thing can change me the way I speak today. So I think the personality or I'll say mentality, both comes from how I grow up or how I see the world, which school I went to or which people I stay with, negative or positive. That's you always learn from both sides. So I think that's what I love the most about myself. That how who I am. Just be confident about
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Just basically be confident and just love who you are today.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for being here today.
Most welcome.
Can you share with the audiences like your Instagram, where they can find you, where they can find the film?
Okay. So the movie is coming on 18 February, and you can buy the tickets on
Urbix?
Is it Urbix?
Yeah.
Urbix?
We don't know how to pronounce it, so it'll be here.
Yeah. So it's Hong Kong website. So
for ticket purchase.
Yeah. And you can watch the trailer on our social media. You can even follow Qasim Khan Productions. You can find website and all social media. You can just Google us. We'll be there. Yeah.
Well, amazing. Thank you so much. I will definitely let the audiences know when your film is out, and just please keep us updated for any future projects, future films, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, sure. I love to have you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.